In the story, I could see a street sign behind him, so naturally, I went to Google Maps and looked up all the streets in our city that have that name. I saw him coming out of a townhouse, and I walked up to the townhouse, and I walked around back and checked the back door. The back door was unlocked.
Well, guys, it's a brand new day, and once again, I am blessed with the opportunity to talk about people saying the darndest things over on that silly little app called TikTok. Today really is one of the days of all time. So a couple of days ago, I was perusing through social media, and I came across a series of TikToks made by a TikToker named Savannah Shea, in which she chronicles her adventures of stalking a man after she saw him and thought he was cute inside of a grocery store. So, really cool stuff. Glad these are the things we have decided to start sharing as a species on the internet. But apparently it is because this woman uploaded a 3-part series talking about how she stalked a man and invaded his personal life because she was too afraid to approach him at the grocery store, I guess. Now look, within the first 20 seconds or so of the first video, I started to get a whiff of something. Okay, caught a scent trail, if you will, and it led me to what I believe to be a pile of engagement bait. Now, I don't really know if this woman is trolling or not. My gut tells me that she is. If she's not, she belongs in Arkham Asylum, because the stuff that this individual says is insane, and even if she is trolling, there's definitely still some insanity sprinkled in there, so that's why we're here. So put on your detective cap and open up those nostrils wide, because it's time to get to the bottom of this. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
I saw this really cute guy at the grocery store the other day, so naturally I followed him to the checkout counter, and when he gave the cashier his credit card, I peeped it to see what his name was.
Okay, guys, look, I'm sorry, I don't know how to count. I meant 10 seconds instead of 20 because red flags are already going off. Unless you're like a bird, like part eagle or something, there's no way that you're peeping the name off a credit card from multiple feet away. So already I feel like we're being lied to, but let's not jump to any conclusions.
And then I Googled him and found his social media profiles, and I was able to tell that he was single. So I went through his friends list and I found his mother's page. And then I looked through his mother's page and I saw that she was a member of this book club that's in my area. So I sent a request to join the book club. So I went to the book club meeting and I met his mom there.
Yep, there you go. You belong in prison. I don't even care if this story is fake or not. Just thinking of this is deranged. You belong in a cell, Savannah. Okay, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you do. You belong somewhere where the public is not endangered by you, and your current setting does not meet that criteria. I'm calling in a tip to the FBI.
And we bonded over some books that we both liked, and she just thought I was so nice. And I brought it up randomly in conversation that I was single. And she let me know that she had a son that was single also that lived in the area, and maybe it would be cool for us to get together and chat sometime. So I gave her my number, which she gave to her son, and this morning he texted me and asked if I'd like to get together this weekend and do something. So I guess we're gonna go on a date. I'm really excited.
Okay, look, so like I said, I don't really believe this is real. I'm hoping it's not real, okay, fingers crossed. But can we all agree that regardless whether or not this is real, this is a super weird and wacky thing to do? I mean, who wakes up one morning and is like, you know what I feel like doing today? I'm gonna go on TikTok and verbalize a stalker fanfiction where I am the main character. I'm the stalker. What a freak.
I can't believe how many people were interested in my story yesterday, so I'm going to go ahead and give you an update now because I just can't wait until the weekend, honestly. So since he texted me yesterday, I have his phone number. Therefore, this morning I went to Snapchat and found his public profile. And he posted a story this morning of him walking his dogs. In the story, I could see a street sign behind him, so naturally, I went to Google Maps and looked up all the streets in our city that have that name. I was able to click on the street views and pan around until I found the exact surroundings that were in his Snapchat story.
Guys, I just don't really even know what to say about this stuff. Maybe it's because it's late, my brain is kind of fried. I'm recording this at 4:46 in the AM, don't ask me why. Okay, I'll tell you why. It's because right now my sleep schedule is backwards. I'm nocturnal. I don't know what's going on, okay? Not important. Why would you ever post this on the internet. This is a grown woman, a grown adult, who is going around on TikTok acting like it's cute to stalk people, I guess. I don't even really know what she's doing. I don't know if this is satirical. I don't know if it's ironic. It doesn't really seem that way. And you're gonna see why I say that here in a moment. I honestly think that so many people are out of touch that they don't even realize how insane they look to other people. Doing something like this, making up this kind of story, or actually doing this, and then recounting it on TikTok is not something that I, nor anybody I've ever met in my life and conversated with, would ever consider doing.
I don't know if this is the neighborhood he lives in or if it's just where he was walking his dogs, but I did check it out and it looks like there's a lot of cute little coffee shops. It's a very walkable neighborhood. So I figured I'd get myself ready for the day and make sure I look extra cute and just go on over to this neighborhood, grab a coffee at the coffee shop, walk around a little bit. Maybe I'll even take my dog with me and he'll have his dogs out on a walk and we'll get to run into each other. He might even think it's fate. I'm really excited. Wish me luck.
Whoops, sorry, I wished you misfortune. I misunderstood the request. Ma'am, I mean this in the nicest way imaginable. I think the government should mandate that you be a lighthouse attendant. You need to be separated, at least for a while, from us, okay? The normal ones. It can be a comfortable one, okay? I'm not saying you need to suffer or anything, but a lighthouse nonetheless.
So I have the update everyone is waiting for. I went to the neighborhood yesterday that I found from this fellow's Snapchat story, and I started to walk around a bit, and I got really lucky. I saw him coming out of a townhouse, and he had a dog on a leash, so I assumed that's where he lives, and he was taking his dog for a walk. So naturally, I waited a few moments for him to walk down the sidewalk a bit and get out of sight around the corner. And I walked up to the townhouse and I walked around back and checked the back door. The back door was unlocked.
Okay, so I feel like this is where we can kind of start to safely say this whole story is fake. I don't want to believe that anybody is this stupid that they would do all of this and then talk about it freely on the internet, so going forward, I'm not even going to entertain the idea that this might be real. But I think we need to keep our heads on here and acknowledge that this is still insane. What character are you playing here, Savannah? Oh, B&E and stalking, my two favorite humorous activities. I'm so goofy, I'm so quirky, I like to make up stories about stalking men. This is weirdo behavior and I won't stand for it.
So I opened the door really slowly and peeked my head in and I didn't see anybody. So I walked in. It led to the kitchen, which had a bedroom right off the side of it. So I walked into the bedroom and saw a picture of his mom sitting on the dresser, so I knew it had to be his room. His bed was made, so I thought that was pretty attractive. Because how many guys make their bed, right?
What? Where's the bar, guys? Making your bed is attractive? Are we being serious here, folks? This is why being a man is so awesome. We get complimented for just being like a basic functioning human. I guess that kind of makes sense though, because I have heard from a lot of people out there, like real life humans, that a lot of men out there just don't wash their ass. Like I thought that was an internet meme thing, but apparently it's a real life issue. Kind of going off on a tangent here, but speaking to the upcoming generation of young men, invest in soap. Be clean. Take care of yourself, okay? It'll take you a long way.
So I walked through the ensuite door to his bathroom, figured I'd browse around a moment, open the medicine cabinet, just check and see if I saw any lady products or, anything that would lead me to believe that maybe he isn't totally single. There was an open condom wrapper in the trash can, so that might be an issue that we have to get over in the future, but it's okay. I'll forgive him right now.
Wait, just the wrapper? Okay, that's gonna be an issue. What do you think he's using them for? Do you think maybe he misunderstood the purpose? Do you think he's eating them? Usually it's kind of a 2-in-1 combo. If you're gonna throw one away, you're probably gonna throw the other one away. I think you've got a bigger problem on your hands than you realize there, Savannah.
As I was leaving the bedroom and making my way back into the kitchen, I ran into what I'm assuming is his roommate, who was very startled by seeing me in the townhouse, obviously. Startled me as well, but I was quickly able to come up with an excuse, let them know that I was a cleaning lady, and I must have accidentally walked into the wrong townhouse because I was on my phone and not paying attention. Luckily, he believed that, and I was able to make a quick escape. He did seem a little annoyed, but not too questionative. He seemed to believe my story.
Are we really meant to just completely ignore the fact that if this woman really was pursuing this man in such a manner that eventually she would have to meet the roommate and he'd be like, hey there, you were the person in my apartment the other day. Really, we're just gonna skip over that? No mention? Okay, cool.
As I was leaving, I did notice the fellow walking back up the sidewalk with the dog. I hid behind the side of the house for a moment and waited for him to get up on the front porch and go back in the house before I scurried away down the sidewalk back into my vehicle. So I didn't get a chance to meet him yesterday like I was hoping for, but I did learn a little bit about him and a few obstacles that I might have to overcome. But I'm really excited to officially meet him tomorrow.
Wait, what? What did you learn about him? That he likes to eat condoms? What could you have possibly gained from this experience? You learned that he had a roommate and that he lives in a house. I feel like you probably could have guessed those two things without breaking into his abode. I feel like this was a pointless endeavor. Okay, so this last video we're gonna look at is really what made me want to make this into a video. The tone has shifted. I feel like she's out of character here. She's responding to a comment somebody left on the original video, and it gets kind of weird.
This user commented the double standard. And I just want to say, yeah, double standards are real. Every day, women have been dealing with being called sluts because they have sex with multiple men. But when men do it, they're praised, and nobody ever bats an eyelash. People literally don't care how many people men sleep with.
Okay, so sure, not gonna really argue with you on that one. It's a fair statement, and yes, it is a double standard. What I find very strange about this is this seems in defense of what she's doing. It seems like she is trying to defend herself as if she really was doing this stalking. As if somehow her giving an example of a double standard that affects women changes that if a man was making these kinds of videos, the reactions would not be so lighthearted. Two things can exist at once. Two double standards can be harmful and can exist at once. I mean, I hate the internet because stuff like this is rampant. People say stuff like this and they think it's a gotcha. No, it just makes you look stupid. Yes, a lot of people only focus on the double standards that affect them, but they do affect everybody. It doesn't matter what you are or who you are, there is a double standard that affects you negatively, and there's one that affects you positively too. That's why we should work to just get rid of them all. I know, what a crazy revolutionary hot take. No, don't praise me. Okay, I appreciate it, but don't do it. Maybe it's just because this is my job and I'm exposed to it all day, every day, but it seems like people who live out a lot of their life on the internet gradually lose their ability to use any sort of logical thinking in any situation. They slowly find themselves in a certain camp of all or nothing, and then they're stuck. They are incapable of looking at anything with a nuanced perspective, so they end up confidently saying stuff on the internet like, well, actually, I'm allowed to make up weird fan fictions about serial killer level stalking of a random person I saw in a grocery store and play it off as being cute and quirky because, well, men sometimes say mean things about women.
And secondly, double standards. So you're telling me that all of you guys want to do this and you're just mad that you would get flack for it and a woman wouldn't?
Savannah, I'm sorry to tell you this, but your brain is fried, okay? It's completely rotted out because no, you're not even kind of right. Calling out a double standard does not mean you want to partake in what is described in the double standard. You can't just make that up. You don't get to make the rules on that kind of stuff. Well, guys, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's nothing but rage bait? What do you think would happen if a man made a video series similar to this one? While you guys discuss that and probably get into a war in the comments about double standards because like I was saying, this is the internet, I'm gonna go try and fix my sleep schedule. Wish me luck. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.